chat. Good evening. We are back for some more Sandustry. We started the game last night, and we made some good progress, I guess. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at how many tiers there are. We're in tier 2. We just got access to plants and being able to use the seeds that we've gotten. But I have another project in mind. I need to make a more robust storage system. This is part of experimenting with the plants. We have all this extra material over here that we need storage space for, and I want to make it more robust overall. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do that. We'll just let the rest of the material that's out here run its course. See, we got a lot of seeds. And I like the size of that container, but I want to make a bunch of containers like that that we can use. Crackstone? Okay, vines, get out of my way. So the idea is to make larger storage vaults that I can use for materials across the board, do a storage layer sort of along the bottom, and then from there I'll run a feeder belt that goes across the whole thing in a loop to move materials, and then I'll make the infrastructure, like the compression thing here, way above that to drop onto the feeder belt. And then the feeder belt goes around and just dumps the resources in these big vaults. That way it's a lot more... I can do a lot more over time to expand the facility without having to change a whole lot. Because right now I'm kind of stuck. I got money in 2 different places. I have to move that over in a weird way. It just gets a little weird. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy. Oh, well, I don't need that. I don't need that either. So we'll copy. Sure, we'll do all of this. Copy that over. And I'm gonna paste it way up here. Because there won't be any materials in here, but that way it's out of the build area in case I need it back. Process all of that, and I'll start deleting some of this here. Water catcher I'll probably leave. I can't break this material quite yet. So let me... select all this. Oh, that's right, there's a separate delete thing. I want to... move a bunch of this stuff. Make a much bigger containment for the money so we don't have it in two places. Alright, and these is going to be a little weird, so we will delete this. I like the size of this, but we'll get rid of that material, and then we will want, can't dig through that yet. Need all of that. And we're going to want belts along the bottom. So what we'll do then is we'll go copy all this. And then I'll just move all this stuff for now. Just get it out of the way. Alright, so there's that moved. Then we're going to want to place the bottom with conveyors. gonna cut that. I want to leave a little bit of area beneath there, so we'll start with that spot. That there, and then here technically I want a conveyor as well as a launcher. That will just like go up into the sky. Like that, and then we'll do this. So the idea is we'll have material dropping through here. Filter, we're actually going to put like that. And then in this case, we're going to... Sure, we'll make this gold. That's fine. No gold. The red... Actually, let me reverse the direction on that. Okay, so that should work in theory. And we give space there, so the idea... We'll just copy paste this over for a bunch of the things that we need to do, that we need to store, and then it'll give us a much bigger storage space. And then for things we need to move to different areas to process, we can break this wall here and allow the material to be pushed on the conveyor into there, and then I can move it up to processing up above. That is the plan.
Bet someday.
Crazy him or die, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I forgot I used some of the .hack stuff. That's funny. Sumda. Welcome in. That's fine right there. Okay, so that is the plan. So now we will copy that and we'll start pasting it a bunch of times. And we can, for efficiency, we can actually merge them together. That should not be a problem. And we'll want to do this for every material. Okay. So we want gold in that one. This one we'll put... just do sand. This one we'll put wet sand. This one will do residue. This one burnt residue. Okay. This one do seeds. This one wet seeds. Snow we'll put as part of the water. And that'll be Amethyllus for now. The water, I'm probably going to move and not use this reservoir in it, because I did need it because it was a pool. I can actually put it elsewhere now. So it may make more sense to do it in a larger space. Although, I could just make another one of these for water. Water will have to modify. So for now, we want filter, we want to block snow specifically, and then we'll put the snow on top of this. Okay, so that should work. And then we would need a... These we actually don't even need here. We need that... Oh, I wanted to check the... conveyor portal. Comps gaps or other conveyor belt lines. So it looks like it can go straight across. Which is what I was thinking about for this. But I don't know if it can move through lifts. Could actually put it here. Maybe. Oh, I see. Okay. Hold on. Like that. That's what I want to do. So then if I get... Where'd that residue go? I get this. It should warp over there, which is precisely what I want it to do. I don't know why I put it so far away. Yeah, okay. Very cool. Okay. Then in terms of the filters, that should go here and then drop down. I will probably want actually regular conveyors for part of it. Oops. Why? Won't let me paste over it. Interesting. Okay. Do this for reference. Yeah, here's the residue. Great. That I don't want anyway. That way it will drop in the center and not like build up on one side super high. There's a very good chance we won't have an issue with that anyway if the machine's constantly running. Oops. Something we have to plan for. And then if something doesn't fall through the filter for whatever reason, it'll just continue along the belt. Okay. So like the residue, we will want to pipe up and then go do the dropper and then drop it back onto the feeder belt and then it'll loop back around. So we need another portal here. Like that. And the big feeder belt going around will like dump on this side and then send material down that way. Oops. So we do that. And then we'll put kind of a cage there. We don't need the feeder belt very large. The plan is if we need to expand these, we can expand them down rather than needing to expand them sideways. Because eventually we'll be able to get through all this other material. And if I have something like that that's a problem, I can just build extra storage for it. So we would need another set of conveyors just carrying stuff across the top, just going the entire length of it. Again, they don't have to be that high up. So maybe we'll go here. Oops. Okay, and then two, three. So here. Look at that. We'll just, nope. We'll just do that there. So I'll just create a loop. And that way I can feed whatever I want into this through the upper belt, either from machines at the top or machines from the bottom, and it will just sort everything. That is the plan. So go ahead and let's build this out just in case I have another one. Still have a mark there. Whee! Type of distance did I have? It was 5. Let me just... Copy-paste function is very, very useful. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, wait. This one will be a little different, because we need to feed this up. that may be a problem. Let's do launcher to here. We can raise it if we need to, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. It should just bounce and then go on its merry way. Okay, so that's the loop, and we can feed additional things into this if we want from down here, which is the plan. So this will work as intake. No space here. Yeah, I think so. That I can't mine, right? No. Okay. So I should be good to start connecting this now? And then this whole intake thing, if we have to expand out for more storage, which I'm sure we will, we can move this that way. And just chop the one side off and then add more blocks. So we'll go ahead. Build ourselves intake pipeline. Yeah, that'll work fine. Look at that. Okay, that should sort through fine. The money will do the same way. This is the one we have for gold, right? Yes. Do that. Weep. Just start moving some of the gold like this. Okay, yeah, it's going through there pretty easily. That's great. And it should just pass through the filter and go straight in there. We shouldn't have to worry about it. Yeah, it drops pretty quickly too. Okay. And then what I'll do here... put the seeds into this mess too. Seeds have a little ways to go. That's okay. That's not a problem. We'll clean that up later. Okay. Good. Purple's moving through now. Doing what it's supposed to. Got the sand right behind it. Got a steady stream of sand going across the other way. This belt is actually going to give us an issue. So we want to... Let's allow snow, so we don't get anything else in here, but we will do another filter beneath here. That blocks snow. Whatever snow we have, we can trap in there. I don't anticipate having that much, but it'll be there. And I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll just watch this in the meantime. Oh no, look at the pile up. That's funny. Oh good, seeds are making it where they're supposed to be. Great. Okay, so now we can start doing production areas. I need the water. We don't have pipes yet. Oh, we do have pipes now. Ooh. Pipe, pump, and liquid vent. Let's see, because the next big infrastructure thing we need to make is a like a water collection vat. I was going to potentially do this with the snow here. But we need water to be able to move the seeds and the sand through in order to make them wet. Which makes more sense probably to do above. What do I have? Let's see. A pipe. Pipes used to transport liquids. Can only be removed while pipes are selected. Okay. Lava's too hot to be transported through the pipes. Makes sense. Frozen liquid that runs through the connected pipes. Okay. Releases liquids from connected pipe. Okay. That all makes sense. Pipes are built on a separate layer. Can only be removed while pipes are selected. Pipes view on. Cool. Makes sense. Just like O&I. So I can use this for water. I wonder... actually, rather than moving... Like I did down here, we had a... Like we were just moving them through conveyors, like dumping the sand into the water and then moving them through conveyors out. I can probably create like a shower effect using kind of a vat of water. I think that's what I want to do. So for here... Okay. We will make this a little bigger for the snow. Just test it, make sure the snow goes in there. Great, okay. Now, let's see about the water. Let's actually just play with it over here real quick and see what it does. Just to make sure the idea is going to work. So if I do that for a vent, pipe... Okay, so I collect it just like, or connect it just like O&I. And then pump at the bottom. It does create a little shower. That's cool. What if I do multiple vents? So I could do, yeah, a whole shower just across the conveyor belt, and that would be easy. Let's do that. That way simplifies things. Okay, so those pipes use its own page, but the actual vents are in the regular build mode. Cool. Is water affected by the conveyors? That I don't know. I don't guess it matters too much. So I'm gonna want a... Stuff falls weird. It's like light and floaty. Huh. For now, I just want the water in here. Oh, it's already working. Great. Let's get it filled up. Oops. Got stuck in the air. That was weird. It's going down pretty quick. Cool. All right, so I guess we'll start. We'll put a buffer layer here above the conveyor. Actually, we don't even have to, do we? Actually, this is potentially a problem with the snow here, because the rain is going to get trapped. Or the steam is going to get trapped there. We'd have to change that belt out to... Problem is, I can't make it permeable without... Maybe I just allow snow through that? And then if snow gets sent up, then it just falls, and that way the water can get through. So let's do that. There. So snow can immediately fall in. That way the water can fall back. And really, we don't need filters here. We could use regular conveyors here. No. We want conveyors there because we want it to like move a little bit. I think we should be good with the rain here though. Do it. At least most of it. I'm curious what the water will do. It's hitting the sand already. That's fun. Okay. Well, as long as the water's coming back through, that looks okay. Like we didn't get any water on the other sides, which is what I was worried about. We could even... We will put a... conveyor set up there just so it the steam funnels closer to the center. Okay. And then maybe we'll do... You know what? Oh no, we do need that filter there. I forgot. We do need the filter because we want the water going back down in there. But I can have solid blocks there. That should be fine. Just to move the snow in opposite directions. Filter block snow. Okay. So that should be fine. Cool. Okay, that'll work. We like that. Do I want... There is part of this too that the water's coming down through the center. I don't want the water hitting the snow, or it will freeze. So maybe it is still better if I do these like that. There. That way the snow will get pushed to the sides, and then if it builds up where it starts causing a problem, I can just melt it all. It'd be fine. Pipe mode. Assume this is empty now. Yeah. All right, so we should make the shower portion. To do that, we need to look at the seeds. So these are all dry seeds. we have filter for wet seeds as well. So we'll need to pull the regular sand into a belt. So if we use that as the marker, actually. I don't want a very high belt for the water, so let's do this here. We'll keep it relatively compact. So we'll use this belt for anything that needs to be moistened. We can actually... We have that for the water falling down. Actually, I don't think we'll have too much of an issue. Let's actually just make this allow snow again. Block everything else. Wait, what? No. Allow snow. Okay. We don't need these. Because if rain falls on the thing, that's fine. And then this we actually want to... Oops. Drop. So we want the shower to happen, and then the wet materials drop back onto the line. That's the goal. We can't reverse that far. That's fine. I'm going to do this again. Just so I have a general mark of where I want to put the shower. I'm going to do liquid vent. Right there. We're going to do pipes. And then pump. Great. Already working. then once they get their shower, I just want them to drop back into the regular conveyor. So now all we should have to do is we'll install the portals. The one issue that we have with this is that we may want some of that sand to stay dry going through. So I almost need let's build like a contained. I should build a contained chamber for it. Is I want a return vent as well. Oh, it's all connecting in there. So let's see. Does that make more sense? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There, that's pulling the water back out fast enough. Actually, I wonder if we do this. No, because the steam wouldn't be able to get out from the snow, so we'd have to do. Allow snow for all of those. Then this should drop the things down without us wasting any material there. The downside is it means the snow can, or the steam can, ooh. maybe it can't. Maybe... maybe we do this. So that the steam has limits to where it can come back out. Steam goes up, travels out there. So in theory, the water comes back down in this general area and just flows down. It'll hit a couple of these on the way, but we're not going to use this that often, I don't think. And here it comes. Yeah, so it's just going along the top. That's probably good enough for now. I could even actually move these. Oops, actually, pipes I do want there. I want to delete the buildings. There. So now we won't interfere with any snow that's in here. Cool. We like that. Alright, so let's finish adding the conveyor portals. Right, so this is for wet sand we want to make into, or dry sand we want to make into wet sand. So for the launcher, oops, we want to do that, and we want to do that. And then we want to do the same for the seeds. So we're gonna get rid of that. And we're gonna get rid of that. That way if things hit and kind of bounce, they'll come back down, it'll be fine. Make sure this works. I don't see why it wouldn't. Oh, the filter is messed up on this. Block snow. We want everything at this point to go through there. Okay, so yeah, we have some wet seeds, some dry, because I put them in a stack. So now they fall back down, and they go back into the sorting queue. So yeah, that's working. Once it becomes a steady stream, like the individual dots, it'll all just happen kind of normally. And this is okay, because now with the sorting line, any of the dry seeds will just end up in this pile again. Cool. Okay. That's working. We need to be able to filter the wet sand. Maybe that will be the next project here. I wish I could... an idea. We don't have, like, labels for anything right now, for some reason. So I'm gonna try something here. Water down here. So that will be... Whoop, I messed it up. So that we have marked as the water line. And there's water. Oh! I put too much stuff through it. Okay. Well, that's a problem. Why is it not moving? Is the belt clogged because of the water? Yeah. So maybe we don't need quite so many of the things there. So let's get rid of that many of them. Oh, and the water can't hit the return because there's so much material. Mm-hmm. Are the wet seeds not moving? Wait. Well, they got over there. Oh, no, they're moving. Let me break this real quick. We'll let everything catch back up. So not the best executed idea. So maybe it is more worth running them physically through a submerged structure rather than doing kind of a filter thing. Go ahead and clear this line so I can work on some stuff. So to do this, maybe the water needs to be reversed. Maybe the water thing is reversed. Let's see. With the feeder belt there. Maybe instead of there, we do a drop. And then belt goes through here. And then lift comes up the other side and then dumps stuff back onto this. Let's see how that works instead. Did launcher... here. could actually still do... allow snow to pass. Push everything with the water up there, and it would allow it to push out a little further and then dump onto here and then go down that way. That means this one is a belt. You would delete that. This will allow water into this area, but that's fine. Yeah, it's not going to be much. We don't need these. Don't need these either. And this we can still have available for steam. So let's try that now. That's even easier. We don't even need fluid dynamics. Okay, and we're getting those seeds in here now. They are moving. Still not everything is getting hit by the water, but once it evens out, there'll be enough. Yeah, I'm going to spit out the top. Back onto the feeder line. Cool. That's annoying. Maybe... Okay, I see. I see. We've got another problem. That's why we're testing, Chet. Got an idea. Any other water on the line? I don't think so. If we did... We have a vent. Yeah, this is where we use the fluids. Okay, so do liquid vent there, liquid vent there. We do pumps there, there. We do pipes. This. Then we can build... Is that feasible to do? Can steam move through those blocks? I don't know if it can. Well, we can certainly test it. What if I did pumps here? Question is, can steam move through those? Steam. I'm stuck. Steam. Steam is here. Where does steam go? Steam can move through those. So if I did... Question is, can water move through those? Water can move through those. My thought is if I did something like this... be able to catch the water. Before it goes out. So maybe... Do we have ventilation stuff on the track? I assume we'll get ventilation at some point. Blows petals and powders through the air. For moving large powders. Okay. Digger drone. We may get some sort of ventilation at some point. So we want steam to escape, and then we want to keep the water from coming back in. The water does take time to push through the filters. So maybe that's enough to keep it from flooding. So maybe I could do filter. And we will just allow snow in. That's fine. And then just allow snow in there. We do pumps. Actually, no, it's probably wise to have those there. So if rain falls down in the sides, it gets zapped down. If rain falls in the center, it hits these, gets slowed. Oh my gosh. It's very annoying. Nope, not launcher. Can't. Can I zoom in? No. Let's try this again. Alright, filter. That, no snow. That, no snow. Or allow snow. Okay, so in theory now, we can do pipes. So if that works the way I think it will, any rain that hits there will go slowly down and have enough time to get sucked into the pump and then bypass this whole thing in the center. So let's try that. Snow! Steam is finding its way slowly out. Let's see what the water does. Water's dropping into the top. Oh, it's going all over the place. It's going all over the place. With the steam sneaking out of the little side thing there. And it's flooding the belt again. So it's not getting sucked in there fast enough. Challenging to incorporate the snow. You know, it might be better to do a rain catcher in a different place and then just pipe the water directly in here instead of trying to use the same thing. There's still steam that's trapped too. Well, the sorting's working as intended. That's great. Did the steam go back through here? That's weird. What's this? Oh. Yeah, I think we'll change that. Oh, is the seed stuck in there? They don't really move on the conveyor. That's odd. Huh. Like they do if they hit the bottom. And they were moving fine. Way to go there. There, we'll put these here so they can go on the return conveyor trip. Oh, we never put a portal in there. Let's do that. There we go. Just in case something somehow bypasses, or we don't have a container for a particular thing yet, we can keep passing it along the belt. This is interesting. I think... try something here. If I do a portal, can I not do that with the water there? Curious. If I did that, if I do that, will that help it move a little better? No, because it wants it to be to the side there. Okay. It looks like moving seeds this way is probably not useful. Because the seeds don't like moving on the conveyor like the sand does. So now we're back to potentially the, like the sprinkling chamber. Hey, Gene Honeybee. Doing all right. We're back to Sandustry. We're toying around with different ideas. We made these like large chambers now to contain all the resources with like an auto sorter belt that will sort the things by type. And that idea is working well. Problem is when we're trying to force a bunch of material through, it's not working super well for what we're trying to do. The seeds there, when they get wet, they tend to get stuck. Yeah. So it may just be the quantity of material that we're trying to move that's the problem. Like if the machine's running smoothly, I'll have like small itty bitty kind of things. The problem is the sand and the seeds we need to make wet so that we can use them in other applications. Now, how to do that efficiently without causing a problem is being an issue. We are able to move them through here relatively easily. However, we're trying to incorporate the snow in here, and the snow really wasn't working for us. So we're going to do snow in a different containment area. Our initial idea was to make like a little sprinkler system. I forgot to take that off. Is to make a little sprinkler system to like, or a little shower system to shower the stuff. Did you hear Tim Curry passed? Yeah, that and Dolly Parton yesterday. It's been a rough couple of days. Been a rough couple of days. I think it's just number. The problem is I can't. My whole childhood, yeah. Uh-huh. Realistically, we probably need bigger than just a 1 block gap here. That would help quite a bit. As is the sheer volume is also a problem. But again, that won't be super issue unless we're just dumping huge loads of stuff onto here. Let's do this. Copy. All of this. Oh, I forgot to put a border on the side over there, so all the material just got dumped on the ground. That's funny. Copy. Actually, there, we'll do that. This material. Actually, you guys can grab lots of different things. Get the water. I'll let the sorter take care of all that. Alright, now copy all of this. Actually cut it. No, we'll just copy. We'll cut it. We'll put this over here, just for now. We will copy these. We'll paste another containment area. And then of this, we don't need that belt. We don't need that. That belt's good. Someone say, I don't care if it's official, but I'm making 925 National Dolly Parton Day. That sounds fine to me. Okay, and then we'll rebuild this. We had to change the water a bit. This to line up there. We need to put a barrier here. Like that. So feeder belt should go this way. That filter will have to adjust. It can go here. It'll go up, come back around. So that should be fine. This is okay. This we need to adjust. I don't need the top portion here. These weren't working. Get rid of these pipes. So we want, filter-wise, we'll make this snow. And we'll just keep snow in a separate box. Because we're not doing snow in here, we can get rid of that. We'll just pipe regular water into here, which means we can also get rid of this. What? That one longer? Is that one longer? Have it. Copy. That. How'd this one end up being longer? That's weird. Or did I cut it short? It is cut short. Okay. There. Okay, that fixed it. Right. Filter, snow for this one. This... We actually don't want anything, because we just want water. And we just want this to be a reservoir for now. And then this, we'll do that. So nothing gets in here, just water. We got snow on that one. And we'll have to build a water catcher thing to just pipe water down into here. What do we want to do with the rest of the materials here? We should probably go ahead and move them through. We can actually send them... Well, if we send them back home, they're just going to come back through here again. I think making that shower chamber is still a good idea. We just have to be able to keep the water off the belt. So I could take this over to here. Let's work out a new design for this. If I were to go all the way across, get rid of these. And just completely isolate this chamber. I could do... belts across the way. I guess I could delete those. Then that lets the water back on. Now if I did that. Oops. Let things come into here. The problem we were fighting was the steam. So theoretically, the water could still run back here, but if it hits this, it's gonna bounce on top of materials and then end up going through here. So we'd have to build an enclosed chamber somehow. Or just enough to where we don't have extra water going anywhere. Unless instead of dropping the water from the top, I have the water at the bottom. That's an interesting idea. I can't prevent the water from going across the belt. What happens if I do... What happens if I put one of these? You would actually need a... No, liquid vent. Can seeds move through that? They can. Okay. So... if I did... So pump there. And I did... liquid vent. Yeah, see, that's the problem. The water's moving along the thing. Would have to contain it somehow. Where's it going? It's just getting stuck. It went into the seeds. Maybe this is still the best idea for now. We just have to deal with the clogs for the time being. Or we could just dump... I don't know if I just want to dump everything in there. Again, we'll be moving individuals through, not tons of stuff. We'll go back to the old design. Like that. Maybe we just need like an overflow stop. Maybe that's what we do. So like if the water in here gets to certain heights, we'll just pull the water back out. And then hopefully it'll flow better, because I won't have the water building up the entire pipe. That seems to make some sense. Let's try that and see how execution works on it. We do that, we do that, we do that. See, they are moving on the conveyor, but they have to hit the conveyor. If it glitches and goes above that line, it doesn't work. Let's do this. And that will allow, let's just say, snow to pass through. And that should keep everything below that conveyor belt, so it can't, like, bunch up on the top side. And we are getting this build up, but I'm curious if that will matter. I'm going to step away for a second. We'll let this run for a bit and just see what happens. I see we have a new problem. Is it a problem? No, it is moving stuff out. Just going very slowly, so it kind of clogged. But it looks like things are still moving through it. I wonder if... Like, this is the trickle we would expect normally for this. Random thought that I had. Can launcher be built upside down? No, it can't. Okay. Because I was going to launcher it this way and then shove it down here. But that doesn't work. I think... So that should take care of the water on this side. I think if water ever fills up on this side, we may need a partial conveyor here just to let the water come back in. But actually, I don't want that because... Oh. Well, that's a thing. Don't want that because I have a thing for snow over here, so I want the snow to actually filter through. I don't think we'll end up getting water that high up. Although I could put the filter here. Maybe we'll do that. Well... You know what? No. We'll just use the same idea. Because this doesn't block anything. So if water should happen to get up there... For whatever reason, we'll just suck it up and spit it back out. Easy. Okay, so I think that finally solved that. We do need more water now, though, which is a different problem. So we were making it with snow, but we'd have to build a water catcher and then funnel the water in there, which we could probably do using that same filter. Maybe I should change one of these to have like snow on this side. We already have the infrastructure set up for it. That's right, we can pipe the snow elsewhere. Yeah, that's working fairly well, keeping it all contained. I'm not mad about that. Now, whenever we move the wet seeds somewhere, it's going to cause that another problem. What do we have to solve? I can't drop the water through here without interfering with the belt. I need to do the water collection at a different place. And then pipe it in. Look, it's a desert. Oh, little cacti. We do have all this water down here. So maybe it's worth pumping that up in the meantime, so I have water. Run it through these. I guess we can. I kind of want to run it through the intake line, just to keep everything organized. And here it doesn't matter so much. Whee! Okay. We get some water back in there. Even a slow trickle like that looks like it's filling more than I'm using currently, even with that big old block of material moving through. Right. Do need to deal with the water. So to do that, we'll move maybe the snow. It'd be nice to have like snow generation room. Let's do... Oh, the water's kind of reversed here. Right, so I'd have to... I could reverse this. Because I need to lift the snow. Oh, that's why I was only getting a small trickle. Okay, cool. Fix that. That's much better. The conveyor was facing the other opposite way. The water... Yeah, we don't have to do the water this way. We could run this belt to the other side and drop it like the others. That's probably wise. So let's see. Let's try to replicate this without breaking anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got pumps there. We're gonna disconnect this for the moment. Water intake is fine there. Wait for this to clear. delete this. We will add this here. Nope. That there. Continue this. Then on this side, we'll do the launcher. Oh. I don't know if one space is enough there. Oh, that's too high. Nope, still too high. Go right there. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. I think. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. The goal would be to do this. Down here, we changed this so it's the same orientation as everything else. Put those there. Let me check and see. See if there's enough space for them to come out of the top here. Going up. Yeah, looks like it's okay. Not a lot of room in there if it gets crammed, but it looks like it's okay. Now we're getting... Oh, no, it's moving. So it just has to be hit by something when it gets stuck, I guess. And the water displacing it will help, I'm sure. Although I went through all that trouble, and I still can't use this thing to run a launcher for the snow. Because I'd still have to build it on this side. Forgot, because I'm using both columns. Maybe this whole chamber is just for water, like both sides. That probably makes more sense to do. Yeah, I don't actually even need that on that side. I can just get rid of these, really. Is that a good idea? It's happening. I feel like it's not controlled now. Nope, that's not a good idea either. Alright, wet seeds. Get out of here. Maybe this is just an overflow chamber for the water. Maybe these systems don't need to be connected. So intake water comes in here. Water's already going up into there, so this should pick it up and then dump it back out here. So that's more of a fail-safe system, and then I don't know that I don't have a bridge for pipes yet. I don't know that pressure's a thing, so I might be able to just do one of these. Like it's being used. So that way this is a self-contained loop. if the water backs up, it'll just dump it out into here, and then that way intake water comes into there, and then this will just siphon it off into the other side. So I have an overflow now. Okay, we like that. That's good. We haven't done a manual save all day. I keep trying to exit out of that menu. Okay. That's not terrible. So far it looks, doesn't look like these dry out, which is great. Now I could put snow over here if I wanted to. Do this. I'm going to go over here and paste another. Just paste a working. Whoa. Paste a working copy of this. I can modify here. Because I wanted this to be modular, and if I'm dealing with. Keep customizing the water one. Okay. What? Oh, not filter. Launcher. There we go. So that is the modular piece we will use. Oh, we turned on the ruler by accident. That's cool. I didn't know there was a ruler. This is not pumping water into there. Unfortunate. That didn't work. It's okay. We use the same system. It's not perfect. It's not terrible. Alright, so modular system. We want to take this. To cut that. Paste. We will add the container for the snow. Maybe we should put it here because I want to do the water thing here. move sand, or we'll move one of the others a little further down. Let's make... We'll do it down here. The purple stuff. We'll put the purple stuff down here. There we go. And then we should just be able to copy that. Oh. We'll copy this. Put it there. And then we just stretch that out. We have to fix the pipes. Like that. So that should be maintained. And then filter-wise, we'll set this to the purple stuff. And with this, snow, wet sand, burnt residue. Guess we'll make this. Yeah, we can do the seeds here. That will make some bit of sense. Those seeds. Okay, seeds, wet seeds. This will be burnt residue. Oh, what did I say? It's seeds. That's burnt residue. This will put residue. And then this will put snow. No, that's snow. What's that? Oh, this we put sand. Makes sense? Okay, snow here, wet sand, sand, residue, burnt residue, wet seeds, seeds, 2 things of water, and then purple stuff. Okay, that should be better. We have the snow over here, so we can build the big water catcher. Okay. So the idea is I want to fill this thing up with snow. And I want to come in here and I want to roast it all. I might need snow for something. Oh, we have to fix this too. Hold on. Hold on. Because we don't want snow doing that. There. We want sand doing that. So let's fix this. We actually don't need these belts right now. Okay, so now sand can we put up there, and we want seeds, not burnt residue. We're going to do that, but not right now. We'll get rid of this. Seeds. Okay, so seeds get thrown into the water. And I'm actually gonna... No, we'll leave it open, I guess. Nah, we'll close it. And then sand get thrown up there. So really, this... I guess we could... Never mind. I guess we could leave that there for now, just as a marker. I don't know what we're going to need eventually, so... We'll just leave that there and just have it marked as waterline. So sand goes up. Seeds go up. The water's filling nicely. Where'd the amethyst get to? Is it still going across the belt? Oh yeah, it is. Here it comes. Okay. What time is it? 2:02? Bruh. This project's taking a long time. Okay, we can build water collection pretty quickly, I think. Maybe we ought to do that next time. I think I might be able to use the heated belts to take care of the snow. I kind of want to do it. I'm doing 4 tall there. So I could do a gold line. How would I... I want it to be taller. The shaker. So I don't want to interfere with the water line there. Is that enough? Just marking where we are with the build. I mean, not everything can be 4 blocks tall, so I was going to make everything a little more non-uniform, but I was playing around with this idea of kind of marking all the belts that way. I feel like I want a longer... How many... diagonally to allow natural throughput? I mean, if that's the line, though... That would allow everything to shake out and then flow back in. That stays within the gold area. And we'll do it that way. Would allow me to, like, pseudo-maintain this even. Ooh, that's full. Well, that's why we have the buffer tank. There's a lot of water in there. We haven't moved any material at all today. We've just been messing around. Alright, so that's shaker. Then we'll do... the launcher, we'll put it like that. This. Portal. Like that. We'll add the wall here. So that should just work now. And then we'll get the residue collecting as well. Oh. There it goes. Blah. And the belts are messed up. There we go. It's sifting, it's sifting. There's some that are not making it through, which that's okay. It'll get resorted into here. Okay, so that's Well, we can play a little longer, I guess. Why is this? We don't need that. I also don't really need this because I have no intention of moving the gold, so we'll just erase that for right now. Finally making money again. That's fun. Again, that'll even out. We're going to 2, 3, 4. Gonna block that out into just sifting room. Okay, that's working as intended. Residue should start collecting in there. So the next layer, we want to do the water collection above this. So my thought was, let's see, we pump the snow up here, we do a burner belt. So I don't think that will affect anything here. Thermal buffer. So if that works, then that will melt this snow. Steam goes up. Water comes back down and we'll go. So what I want to do. I want to do something like this. I have to let the steam out. If steam comes out right in the center here. I mean, if the water hits there and turns into steam again, I honestly don't know if that matters. Let's do this. do that and create a small, like, buffer area. Steam will go up, water comes back, and then the goal is to get pumps on either end. And we'll just have that work on intake there. So I don't know if this is going to work or not. Let's try it. If I heat these up, what will happen to the snow? Before we release that, let's try a tiny bit. Doesn't do anything. Meltable. How odd. Okay. I figured that would work. How much heat to melt snow? Apparently none. Alright then, well, let me guess. One shot with the flamethrower and I can... Let's test the water collection part of it. Okay, I guess that worked. Yeah, the water's gone. Residues being delivered. Did that thing empty? Oh yeah, look at it on the map. Oh yeah, it is empty. It is gone. We got a good supply of water though for a little bit, I think. Without heat. So it ignites flammable materials, and I guess snow is technically not flammable. It just melts. So the design for this will have to be a little different. Is it done with the wet sand already? Oh my gosh. So I think we'll move the snow into a bigger chamber. The idea of that worked. We're gonna move the snow. Out of containment. I think I don't need to do a like consistent size thing. There is that flamethrower tech. Where's this? Attached by a thermal buffer. that's probably what we'll use for that. So actually maybe we'll have to do some more digging to get money to afford that. Maybe that's worth getting before we go through and build all this structure, because that will change how we do it. Okay. Yeah, so in that case, we may go ahead and stop. But we did what we largely set out to do. We got base reconfigured with big storage tanks for everything. Got a gigantic reservoir of water. All the purple made it to where it was supposed to be. We have a more or less modular design that we can keep expanding out. The only thing we got is the ability to move the liquids. We still have to do the, like prepare the burnt residue, then prepare the dropper for that. I think one of the other things I thought about is doing like I did with the belts, like do a little like notation thing. So when the thing's empty, I can see what is supposed to be in there. Sand. It's wet sand, that's regular sand. Oh, good. The pumps are working, I think. Did it make more sand than I put in there? What the heck? Yeah, the pump is working. Great. Cool. Alright, so that's sand. This is wet sand. Residue. You don't have burnt residue. Wet seeds. You don't have regular seeds. Water can go in there. Purples can go in there. Okay. There goes the sand. He's on his way. Blep. Alright. That's a good enough place to stop. We will hang out here by the residue, because we'll want to do that next time as well. Yay. Saved. Okay, yeah, it was a fun day too. Let's see. Today is Wednesday night. Tomorrow's Thursday. So I will not have time for an afternoon stream tomorrow. I got to take care of some chores and things. But I should be back on for more Sandustry tomorrow night. Should be around the same time, like 11 p.m. EST. And then Friday, I should be back on Warframe, likely. I think that will be the plan. Feel free to jump into ArachNed's Rest, our Discord, if you want to hang out there, or head over to the YouTube where you can catch all the VODs from stream. Appreciate the new follows tonight. And thank you all for hanging out. And I will catch you tomorrow.